you, doggy. Don't you, don't you. There we go, that thing popped up right away.
Instant corrections make your writing mistake-free while keeping it short and fitting in tow. Go to Grammarly.com to download.
Technical difficulty, right? We got a little discombobulated, but it's all good. We got my boy here, man. He done helped us out get the internet good. Appreciate you, bro. I can get it left hand, right?
Still out here playing for keeps. Where's that thing that I could beat?
Wooski came up around 64th.
Still out here playing for keeps. What's that thing that I could beat? Alright, fellas, what's going on? Your boy AntHits, the franchise guru, back at it again, man. We still talking about the draft things in the off season that happened in our 28 season. You know, 27 ended. Super Bowl champ. Off season starts. GM guys got to get on their GM shit, trades, free agencies, all that good stuff. I was breaking down teams and what they look like coming off the off season after they put it all together to get ready for week one. Although we're in week two right now, we're still talking about these divisions and teams and who I think win, lost, and who should have a shot at winning their division off of what they built through the off season. Uh-oh, hit the lead. What are we waiting on? Let me go check that out. Looks like that game was over. Yes, sir. Hit this shit. Wham, 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 wham. 50-50 that. Both of them up, man. 50-50 that. Let's do this again before I do something I'm supposed to be doing. Alright. Falcons get the win. 50-50. Raiders same 50-50. Steelers Boys 50-50 back. Follow me as we creep through the hood. Alright, even better. Let's get to it. Alright, so I had left off with the AFC West. I said I was going to do AFC West, NFC North. So I'm going to stick to that. And continue to do our off-season talk on who got better, again, who got better, who who won and who lost in the offseason, and who is going to be in a situation to control their division off of what they did in the offseason, to bring their team into, each year free agencies leave, guys don't get re-signed, new rookies come in. You got to build your team over, and the guy that does that the best every year is always in a situation to win ball games. Simple as that. So what we do right now, me, after the draft is over with, I get into that heavy, because that's part of the game. That's part of the franchise mode. That's, the funnest part of it is maintaining your roster and keeping strong pieces around your core players to be able to continue to, trend up. Simple as that. So we left with the Chargers. My last episode, we was on the Chargers, and then I had a game to play, so I couldn't finish the West. So from the Chargers, I'm gonna go here. We gotta go to the Broncos for the next team, because they have been consistently 7th seed, 6th seed lately. So we're gonna go in order of how they finished last year for the most part, right? So let's get to the Broncos roster. Now, for the last two years with the Broncos, my argument with the Broncos was they were getting better as a team as a whole, but they were super weak at the running back position. I thought John Embry had no help. He was the sole running back on this roster. Everybody else couldn't cut it. They didn't have good backups at all. That's a lot of pressure to have on a running back, especially this late in the league, like when you're that far, 7 seasons in, 6 seasons in, shit like that. You gotta be able to have gotta have at least 2 people at each position to be able to do some things with, right? And I think that was the downfall of the Broncos, and I think that's why they always have an early exit as far as playoffs. Although it was good enough to get them to the 7th seed every year by chance, because he called himself the king of the 7th seed. I just didn't think it would get him over the hump, and it makes him lose a lot of games that I would think his roster will be good enough to win. At any given advance with this league, you should better beat up on somebody. You better upset a guy. But when you get into them playoffs, man, that has to help you. And part of the playoff success is those that are able to run the ball pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Running the ball is vital in the playoffs, because the game turns up a little bit and turnovers kill you. So when you're throwing the ball all game long, you have nothing else to do but throw the ball all game long, you put yourself in situations. So the Broncos' early exit, as a coach, you can get praised for making the playoffs. But then once you make the playoffs, your owner is looking for that next step. The city, the fans around you, they're looking for that next step. Can you win in the playoffs? And the Broncos have had a first-round exit, wild card exit, every year with this coaching staff they got, with their entire organization from GM on down. So when you are constantly making the playoffs and constantly losing in the wild card round every year, I don't care how much you make the playoffs, your owner got to start looking at you like, hey man, can you get us over the hump or not? So what can you do? So a couple things I would say with the Broncos was they definitely needed another running back in the building to take some pressure off John Embry, because with these deflators running around, he get hit a couple times, he's red, and now you fucked. You can't run him too much, right? So they moved on, and it's a stepping stone. So let's talk about this for a second. Jared Garantano has been there since we started the league. In 21, he was there first. He was the quarterback they got. They didn't get him. He wasn't. It was a steal, right? Here's why. They didn't. I don't know if they spent the first round pick on him. They got their franchise quarterback at the time. They got him in the 4th round, pick 24. So this was a steal. This is a guy that they, it was a let's bring him on, see what he do type shit. He's good enough to get drafted in our eyes. But this ain't ideal where your franchise quarterback come from the 4th round, right? Within his play time, he has gotten to a Pro Bowl once. And he didn't, and obviously he's been a playoff quarterback. He's gotten his team to the playoffs. But when you start losing every year in the wild card round, you start to pick things apart right now. So the first person to go, usually you would think coaches, they on a hot seat, where their coach has been on a hot seat. But they got wiggle room to say, well, we don't have the quarterback that we want. So last draft they spent their 1st round pick on a franchise quarterback. All right, pick 23, and what he did was 2027 offense, a rookie of the year. So, boom, now they got their franchise quarterback, but it was too much pressure on this franchise quarterback because he threw the ball high, way too much for a quarterback learning the system for the first year, and he had no run game to really go to. So, with that being said, they go and they go get them a guy. I really like this kid right here, Richard Young, Arizona State. I think he was a top 3 running back in this draft class. They went and got him pick first round, pick 20. So now you got your quarterback and you got a running back that I'm not going to sit here and say that he should be the starting running back. I do think John Henry Jr. is the starting running back here, but I like the fact that they got a guy now that they can bring in and relieve the John Henry and take snaps from him, because that keeps the quarterback from throwing 40 passes a game. Simple as that. And with the Broncos offense, how well they gotten in the passing game, with them having a run game it can make them that much dangerous. So I think this team is trending up now. I really like when I watch guys do the right shit, and pick the right things, right? So before I dig into the running back, because he got them long ass sleeves on, so that just pissed me off. Got this guy out here butt naked and shit. You go back to the Broncos. Rondell Moore came out of the first draft class, but from that point they had a carousel with receivers, man. It was like a Ferris wheel, man. Round and round it went. We never knew who was their true number 2. And Rondell Moore, as good as he is, he's one of my favorite players. I can't wait to watch what he's going to do in the NFL in real life and all that good shit. I just didn't think he was a true number 1 receiver over. I think he needed to be in a slot. He got that running back build, that Golden Tate type build, ex running back turned receiver type situation. I thought Rondell Moore was more of slot guy that you can move around and do different things with, but he's a playmaker, punt return, kick returns, things like that. So I didn't never see a number 1 wide receiver grade on him at all. This just can't seem square all game long, or the circle receiver all game long. I didn't see it, right? But with that being said, this guy was a dog. He played really well for him, but they had really no pieces around him at the receiver level that they could consistently win battles, especially as the league went on and guys got 2 and 3 corners, some 4. They just didn't have no other receivers that can really win their matchups, right? And then they go in the same draft class, the draft class before getting AJ, the quarterback, they go get JT Bolden. Now, 5'11", 199 pounds. This was a steal. A 23-year-old kid. I do think he was a first rounder. I know Deion Smith from the Jaguars went number 1 in that draft class. And he went in the second round, pick 19. And the argument back then, 2 drafts ago, was JT Bolden was the better player than Deion Smith. I didn't think Deion Smith should have went 1. To me, that was a reach, because this guy was the better one, faster receiver. Well, all he did was light the league up since he's been in the league. So now you get a true number 1 out there, right? And he is that true number 1. Also, they got Moose Muhammad III sitting right here, right? I like him as well. So now I do think they got strong 3-piece right now. They working a miracle with this kid, Rod Smith Jr. He was a receiver turned tight end, so the development of him being a true tight end is still in the air. But when you go get a guy like George Kittle, 34-year-old, still got a 95 overall, you go get you a veteran who can still play the tight end position for you, to help this kid grow as well. So the the Broncos are trending completely up, in my opinion. I like what Bob is doing with this team right now. And they're explosive on offense, especially in the passing game. Now they have a featured running back to go along with John Henry, and the pressure is off of having 1 back on your team, right? And trying to give him anywhere where you need to give him 15 to 20 carries, you're scared to do that because, injuries, anything can happen. You have nobody to answer it, and they wasn't able to, try. I guess they didn't feel like they can go trade, because you go through everybody's rosters, there's backups and starters all over guys' rosters that don't even start. You know what I'm saying? So he could have did it that way, but he waited for the draft class. He addressed it through the draft. I'm sorry, I don't remember when did he get picked, because them sleeves, I'm trying to tell you. All right, first round pick 20. So they invested in that running back with intent. This is the piece we need. This is the missing piece. This is the guy that gets us over the hump. And I do think they were supposed to look at it that way, right? Now at 20 they got Richard Young. It was some really good running backs in this draft class, really good running backs in this draft class. So they got them a dog. Uh, my question would be, was this the best running back to get at 20? A couple backs did go in the first round. He's on superstar, so this is a win right now, man. You got two superstar running backs. The moment you can get this guy unlocked and change his sleeves, he already got 300 snaps counted right now. So to me, he must be planning. 22 carries, 62 yards. And I'm not mad at that 2.8. It looked like he's getting shut, right? But again, backup role, just got to get him involved, right? I think that he's not having a fast start to his career, but again, you have that running back, so it's a little safer to do some things on offense when you have two running backs. I do love this pick. I think it was the right move. Far as getting a running back at 20 in your first round, I think that wasn't a bad situation. Was there some backs out there in that draft class that probably could have went before this kid that was still available at 20? Yeah, it was. But I think this is a perfect fit. All right. So with that being said, now AJ Duffy got some weapons around him a little bit right now, because you are, again, you have two running backs to deal with, take some pressure off of throwing the ball all game long, and I do think you got a strong three receivers right here. Complete three. I think you got a strong three right here, right? I like the fact that they went and got George Kittle to help this kid in development. Remember, this guy came from the mud. He was a 60-something overall receiver, and got turned. I mean, it's probably like a 70-something overall receiver, and got turned to a tight end. And look at the age on him. And this is his second year, so he wasn't a my player or a real draft player, because if he was a my player, he would have been 21 years old. So this guy was a guy that was undrafted down there at the bottom of the draft, sitting there, and he saw potential in turning him into a tight end. Now, in every aspect of turning him into a tight end, he would have not been allowed to do this, but he went through the proper channels with me to get that done. So we allowed it because he came in as a normal. It wasn't like he was bringing a superstar receiver in and wanted to turn him to tight end. He couldn't turn him to tight end because he's only 227. That's not big enough to have him at tight end. But I allowed it because the guy was a normal, and his overall was terrible. And after a whole year with him playing with this guy, this is how bad his overall was. He did get him up to a star, 47 catches, 574, 7 touchdowns. Is really no real true development to him yet. So he's going to take a long time to build, just because it's going to cost too much XP, because he wasn't such a good player early, right? So you deal with that, but I like it. I'm not mad at it. Could they have addressed tight end? They did. They didn't have to go get a rookie and nothing like that. They got him a veteran that they can continue to play with here. When you look at the line, you got Devin White. I don't see abilities there. Blaine Harrison, a rookie, 85 overall, almost can guarantee he's going to be a superstar. But he changed his position, and his snaps counts re-snapped, so now he ain't never getting him unlocked. He's going to have to deal with that shit. And the way to tell if you can unlock a guy, I would do this. And because the snaps are not counting, they're not going to count, right? So no matter what I do to try to fix it, 9 out of 10 it won't count. He'll still stay locked. See, he's gonna still stay locked. So with this guy, as good as he can be for this team, his abilities won't start counting at all until the next season. So really, you kind of put yourself in a situation. You should have left him alone, let his snaps count, and then when he unlocked, change his position. But put yourself in a situation. Now, again, you got good linemen over here, but no ability linemen. I haven't found one yet. And that's going to become a problem later on. Here you go. Your right guard, Chester Snyder, is a superstar, and I'm hoping your right tackle is too. All right, so he did what he was supposed to do. He addressed that left tackle and got a superstar, but he's not going to unlock, so it's going to hurt him a little bit. And I think the line is not strong enough at this point where the league's at for them to be like dominant. But he got a solid line. He can get away with it, right? On the defensive side of things, Devontae Wyatt is. So when you look at a guy at 6'3", 300 pounds, superstar, 98 strength. With that speed, somebody will like, maybe moving to D tackle, right? But I don't think they have to. It's weird because 79 speed with that 90 XL is like having 84, 85 speed. Period. Well, he's an animal, and he didn't see the field until Jack Sawyer got hurt last year, right before the playoffs, the year before that, and then he put him in, and he played a really well game against me in the wild card. He played pretty solid. So I like this guy. I think he's a nice fit, nice player that earned himself a starting job, even with Jack Shaw being back. But they are weak at this defensive line position so far at the DN. They are strong here at D tackle. Michael Escobar, 96 strength. No ability on him, but solid. You know what I mean? Solid backup. Marvin Wilson is a veteran. He's a true dog. But then when you go look at it, you got Snowden here, so we know Jack Sawyer is playing linebacker for this team, but he's not. He's actually a defensive end. He plays with his hand in the dirt. He just doesn't. He just didn't change his position. He do it through roster position changing. You know what I mean? Versus turning him to a true DN. He left him there. Now he picked up Trent Ford from Baylor. All right, 92 speed, 91 XL. Know he's coming out on a trait. This would be a good pick in my opinion. I just got to see how big he is, because you could do some things with this guy. See? All right, on star. All right, if you're going to have stars, right, it would probably be best to have him on the D-line. 6'5", 235 ideal. I like it because of this. You got Snowden and over here, and you got Sawyer over here, right? Then you go look at the D tackles. This is my opinion. If I'm him, I will go back to this, and I will move him to the D tackle, and then I would take these linebackers, Snowden and Sawyer, and move both them to defense ends. Now you got 4 across the board on abilities at your D line, because you drafted him. You got to get him on the field right now. Simple as that, and he can play. All right, and you go to middle linebacker. You got my player and Jeremiah Trotter, who's been an animal since he entered the league. And then over here you got Carl Edits. This is the rookie too. Oh my God, he got a steal here. And he about to unlock right now. He's doing something right with his team. About to unlock, and I know he's at least a superstar. Might even be looking at X Factor. Superstar. All right, bet. Now, I like what he did. I like what he did in the draft and all that. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if he doesn't do this type of movement, pitting Charles Snowden at defensive end and Jack Sawyer at the end, rather he leave him at linebacker and just play him there. And you got to start Trent Ford. You got to start Trent Ford, right? Because you are legit at middle linebacker. You got 2, and then you got to have this guy starting as well. 94 speed, 94 XL, 94 hit power, superstar, ready to go, right? So if he shuffle that roster around like that, that will make up for this weakness right here. All right, because you do have whenever the hell it wants to pop. There we go. You do got Devontae Wyatt, 6'3", 300 pounds. He's not a speed rusher. He's a run stuffer, power defensive end that can play D tackle for you with that 98 strength. This guy is not going to see the field. Ethan Downs, he's there. Good roster field, but not there. So when you look at this, you look at his defensive ends as weak as shit. But it's not really that weak. In my opinion, I think he should move him down to D tackle, and then he got 2 stud D tackles with Marvin Wilson and the kid I was just talking about, right? And then he gotta move these 2 guys to defensive ends, and then you get stronger on your front 4, and actually you make your whole front 7 stronger. And then we got some things you can do over here. But outside of that, if these guys are all like, you know, not on the field and moved, you know, to be able to play on your front 4, front 7, then we in a situation. So he has the pieces to move around to make it, and I'm quite sure if I see that, he has to see it. He already played Jack Sawyer as a pass rusher with his hand in the dirt more than I see him at outside linebacker. So he probably already see it, and is probably already doing it himself. I don't know. I'm just saying, I do think he's still strong as hell at linebacker, no matter what. And then we get to the DBs. Robert Rochelle for the last 3 seasons has been playing like a shutdown corner. Akeem Dent still here. Mitch Reedy got solid speed. Khalid Higgins got guys with good speed and good overall, so he's legit at corner. Jalen Jones at safety, he's a dog. And then you got Lamont Wade, again, who could play corner or safety at any point, so he could do a lot of things with him. And then you got the boy Xavier Nwankpa, who I call Newport 100, man. Because he, you know, my funny nickname for him, but he's an animal. He played. You look and dig into his stats. He's been making noise around the league. Go to awards, see what he's done. Pro Bowl, 2025 Defensive Player of the Year. So he's been playing pretty solid for him right now. So he got a good secondary too. All right, so I like Circle Bob's team. I like his chances. And remember, we have a computer team with the Raiders that I will not fill. That will stay that way. So you got a 3-man fight between Falk, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. All right. As of right now, the Broncos are, to me, the second team in that division. And moving up to the second team in that division will put you in a situation where you're not playing for the 7th seed all the time anymore. I do think he has the opportunity, especially with T not playing, he has the opportunity to enhance that situation and put himself in a good situation, right? I don't think they are ready to win the division yet. I just don't think they're better than the Chargers at all. So because of that, I got them. I'm going to keep them in second place, and I got them trending up. I like what he did in the offseason. I think they put themselves in a good situation to be able to take pressure off their quarterback and allow their 2 running backs to get busy with form and shit. And so that means JT Bolden is not going to be having Jalen Waddle numbers for his 3rd season. Now, Jalen Waddle was down there 3,000 yards, 40 touchdowns a year for the first 4 years. I think it's time for JT to come down from that high numbers, and it's not a bad thing. Not saying because he's gonna get shut or he can't do it. It's just because I think his offensive production will pick up, and because it picked up, that guy numbers is gonna come down some more. Simple as that, because you got extra guys you can get the ball to now, where you're not forced to just throwing it to one guy all game long. So I do like their quarterback. You know, he was the offensive player of the year in the AFC last year for as far as rookie. He brought in a really good backup running back that, you know, if you see what happens. Right now he getting shut 2.8, ain't gonna cut it, but let's see what happens. So he got 2 running backs now that he can go to, and he can get into the run game a lot more versus throwing the ball, again, 40 times a game. And when you throw the ball all game long, you're definitely going to throw INTs, and momentum can kill you in games. And I think he put himself back in a situation to be able to control some of that momentum. Shout out to Bop. He did a really good job. One of the guys that's been paying attention to the real talks and understanding his team, and he went in the direction that, you know, it was obvious to see you needed another running back. You was the only person in the league playing with 1 running back on the roster. That's dangerous. That's not even a safe thing to do. So let's look forward to this Bronco team playing better down the stretch. All right, now remember, my key things was they can't dick ride JT Bolden all game long and throw 2,500 yards, 30 touchdowns to him. They need to incorporate they need to slow his numbers down some to be able to elevate his offensive presence. All right, the last team I want to talk about over here in that division is the Chiefs. Now, I said the Cowboys had the pick of the draft, right? Then we started looking through shit, and we saw the Bills with my son getting picked over there. Julian Jones was the pick that could have been exactly the pick of the draft. Like, that was just the hot pick. Like, wow, they got that, right? But you expected a top 10 guy that went 15. I'm not mad at it. So even though Earl Lewis, we kept saying he was the best pick, the Cowboys made the best pick of the draft. I thought that at the time until I went through some teams, right? So before I get into it, remember guys, Earl Lewis, the my player, all right, not a real life player. It's not Ray Lewis's kid or anything like that. This is just Earl Lewis. When I was editing the draft class, they had a linebacker in the draft called named Earl Lewis from Miami, so you already knew what was going to happen at that point. He had to get my player, and I made him a dog, right? So it was like, wow, he got that still. And he picked him at 20 something, right? First round pick, 20 something. I thought this guy would go in the top 10 for sure. First round pick, 26, right? I thought, wow, still of the draft, Then yesterday we did the Bills, and we thought, Julian Jones, still of the draft. Nah, he wasn't either, because he still went in the top 15. So no, not still of the draft. But when you get to this Chiefs team, before I even talk about anything, the still of the draft was right here. I mean, I don't know how many people will walk past his name. And here's the problem. This guy would be a Baltimore Raven if I had a 3rd round pick. Remember I said that. I thought I had a 3rd round, and I saw how the draft was going, and I saw that, you know, he was still there, and I thought he would be either gone by late 3rd or the middle of the 4th. And I thought I thought I had a third. So as the third round was finishing up, I realized, wait, I don't got a third round pick. So then I had to go where I thought he would go, which was the fourth round, but I picked that 30. So I'm like, fuck, he might get to me. Let's see if he gets to me. That's the steal of the draft. Well, the Chiefs got him at 13 in the fourth round. Let's show that first. Now, let's go back and look at what they got. First of all, 6'8", 345 pounds from Auburn. Remember that, right? And a big ass shoulder pads. This guy, fat boy. Oh my God, fuck, he got on an air balloon. All right, now the strength don't match what he really supposed to be. That was a miss on me. He's supposed to be 96 strength. I just never fixed it, right? That was supposed to be a plus 10 there. He was 86 strength until I plus 10'd it, but I forgot to plus 10 it. Anyway, you're dealing with a guy that's going out, you'll see 96 strength, but you got block share 88, toughness, power moves 85, finesse moves 87, tackling 83, play rec 76, awareness 75, but 86 speed, 85 excel, 85 agility, 88 hit power, pursuit 88. So we got a big fat boy that's athletic as shit. 6'8". I mean, he's a better Calais Campbell, faster Calais Campbell. 6'8", 345 pounds, but that's not the kick to it. All right. What makes him the steal of the draft is this: why all y'all idiots are scared to draft D tackles and offensive linemen, y'all want to wait till fourth round, third round and start doing all that. Probably one of the top 5 players in this year's draft is sitting on the Chiefs roster on Superstar X Factor. You understand what I'm showing y'all right now? It's the steal of the draft. Until we go through some other teams, and I find something else I can say, oh, still of the draft. But right now, this was the pick of the day in that draft class. Bonafide starter right now. I don't even know why snaps ain't counting. You better be fucking using him right now. You better get him right, get him on the field now, and then you got to move some of these guys around. So let's go look at the offense. They made a trade for Jeff Sims, and that's worked out. Jeff Sims is a really good player.
Not playing.
Jeff Sims not playing?
Nah, Devon McGowan.
That's because he probably don't even know what he got, man. Let me go trade for this guy real fast. Fuck it. Let's go trade for him. Put that on my wish list. Trade for the Chiefs D tackle because he's not using it. So Jeff Sims, anyway, he's there. Great quarterback to have over there. They opened their offense up a little bit more because he's a dual threat and he uses him in that way. At running back, they style it, or they already got Lingard and the my player there, but they picked up Eric Green, 79 overall. Not bad, solid roster pickup. This is just one of those, all right, let's get the best available. I'm not sure if he's on any traits or not. Yeah, he is, star. But they get another running back just to have 3 on the roster. I'm not mad at that. You go to the wide receivers. They lost receivers, but they closed it down to what they need. This is how you're supposed to look. 4 receivers on your roster. Trey Carroll, McCole Hardman at 30 years old, getting a little older. Could they have one receiver in this draft? Yeah, but I don't think they needed to go receiver till maybe 3rd, 4th round if they wanted to. But I like their four receivers right here. All these guys are gonna, they play. They're gonna play, and they all bring a different swag to the table. But Michael Martinez, we know what he's been. They pick up Leonard James. So that's, remember, he had the 13th pick in every round. With their second pick, 2024, Leonard James goes to the Chiefs at pick 24. Now, this was obviously somebody else's pick, because they picked that 13 on every round, right? But back to it, you get a tight end. Let's look at what he's coming out on. Superstar, right? With that dumbass donut on. Superstar, 87 speed, 89 excel, 93 special catch. He can do both run and block. This is a solid number 2. Even though they got Josh Fellow here, is an upgrade. This kid is already 87 year overall right now, so he's done number 2. Fellow drops down to number 3. When you come out in them single backs, 3 tight end stages, you good. But to have this kid on your team already, who's probably the best tight end in the league, now you can do some things with him in the open field. Like you can put him out there, wide receiver. I've been saying this. You can go put him all over the field now because you have a true tight end still right now. So in the second round, they picked a superstar tight end. In the fourth round, they picked a superstar X Factor D tackle who's supposed to be on the field right now. But don't worry, he'll be a Baltimore Raven before the night's out. Because I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. So now we keep looking through this team. Let's see what they did, and they did in the draft. Let's go back to it. We like their receivers, and remember, all these receivers are growing together. They all came up at the same time when he went and traded for this quarterback. So all they're doing is getting more time together. And Jeff Sims is really going to love these weapons. He got the weapons right now. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, so now let's see what he did. Did he address the offensive line? That's 3 superstars so far. Right tackle. Alright, nope. Where did he go? Let me go here. No. There. Now, while I'm looking, they're solid. I like Taquan Grant. These are all trade pieces they did last year too. They solid at the end. You know they great at D tackle. They got three of them over here that they could play. Stills, Bryce Jones, and the up and coming this is the new Calais Campbell, this fat speed Calais Campbell, bro. So they loaded there. Left outside linebacker, they're solid there. This kid got 93 speed, 94 excel. This is an ex-Raven. Kenyon Colt, we actually drafted him. All he did was develop and play special teams. He's a starter, bona fide starter for them now. This is what happens when you get gifts. You need to put it on the right people. Leonard Warner, another ex-Raven. But then they pick up the #1 middle linebacker of the draft, right? Now, a lot of people probably stayed away from him because he was red. And true in fashion, it's smart to kind of, you got to be able to develop a guy. You better pick a red player. And if you're not good at developing, then it's the worst thing to do. But if you put him in a starting role right away and let him do some things for you and building the right way, you can win. But his XP is going to be a little higher than most rookies, right? So now, with that being said, this had to be the #1 pick. And Nano, can you check the awards and see where he picked him at? Why? While I do this. Wham.
What's his
name? I got it. Don't even worry about it. So y'all see it. Middle linebacker X Factor, right? There we go. And he picked him with his first round pick, I think. This was the first rounder. Yep, first round pick 13. Now, so he won. All right. X Factor middle linebacker, which was well needed, got him a fucking monster right now, that middle linebacker, right? Yeah. He got him another monster with Leonard Warner at middle linebacker, but Leonard's only a star, so because of that, you ain't at the max potential. But this kid comes in, and once he unlocks, and he already had 282 snaps, now you got a fucking animal at middle linebacker, right? The Hawaiian punch, that's what I'm gonna call him, Hawaiian punch. Trust me, I think he's gonna be a dog. So you seen in the first round X Factor, second round superstar, third round I don't think he had a third round pick. I'm not sure. We're gonna keep looking though. You still got Damon Clark, who puts his hand in the dirt. Kaylon DeLoach on X Factor. You look at the secondary: Wild Goose, Fred Davis, Demore Tate, and Latrell McCutcheon is still here. At safeties, you got Trey Norwood, Jalen Hoyle to be able to back up. Both of them got to play back deep. Stanford Samuels, and then and he picked up one of Deion kids, free agency from the Bears, Cameron Silliman. I love this pick. I think he's a monster, and you got yourself a really good safety. Now, you can't play him in a box or anything like that, though, but I do think you could do some things with him on the field in certain formation packages. All right, so I like it. I don't see a third round pick on this team, so it don't look like he had a third, and I'm quite sure he didn't, because he made a lot of trades last year to be able to put this team together, so he didn't have a lot of picks. But his first, second, and fourth round picks were superstar X Factor, and a superstar. He won on every pick, right? And to me, they got better across the board. They're all the way better across the board, and I do think they can push the Broncos for the second spot in that division, and they should be in the playoffs this year. I think the Chiefs will be an underachieving team if they don't make the playoffs this year. And I do think if they can find a way to split with the Chargers, they put themselves in a situation they can fight for this division. But it's going to take putting it all together and good coaching the entire year, and we're not talking about spurts of good coaching. We're talking about good coaching the entire year for him to reach his max. But I do think he should be a playoff team this year. And they had one of their better drafts, man. When you hit on draft players like that, and you getting abilities like that, two X factors and a superstar, you didn't pick a dud at all in this draft. So all those pieces will be starters for this football team ASAP, and that's how you want to do it when you're drafting late in RDL, when you only got a month left of football in 21 Madden. You supposed to be able to pick players that can come on your field and play for you right now, right? If you can't get that, then you need to trade for players that can come on the field right now. And he did exactly that. Shout out to Brandon. As much as I like what Circle Bob team looked like, I do think he has he did the best, second best. I mean, he probably even did better than Falky because Falk was already loaded. So things what Falk do is just luxury. I think he had a better draft than the Chargers. So in the AFC West, this was the best drafted team off season as a whole. He did a good thing right now. Shout out to him, I think. And that should push him in front of the Broncos this year. Simple as that. Now, that's the AFC West. I said I want to talk about the North and the NFC, right? So we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about the team first that won the division. Give me a second.
The Lions?
Now, talk about the Lions as a whole. When we watched the Lions dominate, pretty much not dominate, but play a really good NFC Championship game all the way up into the fourth quarter. And he gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter and lost the game by a touchdown. Or we'd have been talking about the Lions playing in their first Super Bowl in RDL. He had two opportunities with this Lions team, one with Justin Fields at quarterback and one with Crum at quarterback, where he played in the NFC Championship and was a few points away from playing in the Super Bowl. Do you think the Lions have an opportunity to go further and make it to a Super Bowl from what they've been doing?
Depends. I mean, from what I saw in that conference championship game, it looked like he didn't really trust his weapon that he had to win in that game. His best weapon,
Journey Brown.
And Journey Brown, he didn't really trust him. It looked like that. That's from like an actual runner that always runs the ball. Like I would have given the ball to my running back in that situation. Because he was up 21-7, so I don't know how he lost that lead, to be honest. But stuff happens. But I would have given, I think Journey Brown only came out with 13 attempts or something like that in that game.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a closeout game with Journey Brown.
Yeah.
You're right. And he was playing well. It wasn't like he was 13 carries and was averaging 4 yards a carry.
He had 130 yards.
Yeah, he was balling. He was balling out. This was to close that fourth quarter out. Like that's just playing to the pressure of, he scored a couple. Remember, 21-7 in the second quarter is not. I'm not scared of that lead at all. That's not safe.
I think what a factor of it was he might have I don't know if you call it panic, but he might have been nervous once the Rams scored that.
Yeah, because it was 21-7 in the second quarter, and then it was 28-21. So you only down 7. That man answered the bell. So at that point, it's fuck. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I've been in those situations, but you got to close that game out. You have to.
Yep.
With that being said, I think that'll keep them hungry enough to want to try to get back there. Now, getting back there is always the hardest thing to do. But let's take a look at it. They didn't need quarterback at all. Right, at all. They didn't need to adjust the running back position. They got their hammer and nail.
Yeah.
Now they traded fuck out of here to the Colts, and they picked up a rookie receiver from the Colts, a speed burner, right? On Star. I'm not mad at this. They also drafted.
I like it, but I don't know how it's gonna work for it. I like it, but I also don't know how it's gonna work for it'll have to be a wait and see game, just because Semi Fuck Out of Here is already unlocked on X Factor. He's been in the league, so he knows he's been a Lion
his whole career, so he's the Lions receiver. He drafted him, and he's been that guy the whole time. To get rid of him, I don't know if it was a money thing because he was great, asked for a big contract, but I'm not going to necessarily say I ain't like that move, but this is what I will say. I thought you had something good going with Fuck Out of Here as your one. Hazelwood as your 2, and Mario Williams was your X factor. I like this guy. Now you're asking him to be a number 2 receiver. I would think. I'm not sure. Maybe he brings this kid in to play number 2. You even got another kid down here. All of them built the same now, right? Here, all the way up until now. Here's your big guy. I think he's ready to be the number 1 over here. I'm not mad at that. But I think I would have kept fuck out of here this year if I was him. But he played well with all his receivers. Like down the stretch, you've seen 100-yard games from all these guys down the stretch. And now you bring a new piece in. To me, he's the same type of player as Mario Williams right now. So I don't know what you're gonna do with this. You brought 3 guys in. They on trade all on. I don't know if
fuck
this
out of
Randy
here is a
Sherman.
journeyman. He not even in a Colts uniform anymore.
Nah, he got traded and went right. It was some weird shit that happened. Trades that and it still was like, why did we get him? And he trade him again. So all right, so now your 2 rookie receivers are only stars, but they got so much speed on them that you can still use these guys and get away with it. So I like it. I'm not mad at it. You just asking Jaden Hazelwood to be your number 1 now, and Mario Williams. I would probably still let him play a lot more slot than the number 2, but you can move him around because these 2 guys got good speed to keep any number 2 corner occupied enough to better chase him up and down the field, right? So I'm not mad at it. At the tight end position, Brock Byers is here. They're loaded at tight end. Now on the line, superstar. They're loaded on that offensive line right now. So where's their picks go? We're going to see Delvin Cooper, solid here. You got Lorenzo Neal, Ryan Murphy, 94 overall D tackle, and Lorenzo Neal at D tackle. You need some help at the DN, in my opinion. Walter Nolan, George Wilson, 2 superstars. Nah, Walter Nolan is not a superstar. Okay, well George Wilson is. It's time for him to play. I do know what he do. All right, so just because you don't see a lot of the position DNs or linemen on the field that's on his roster, he can do a lot of things here. So Antonio Todd can always put his hand in his dirt and play defense end for this guy. So that'll give him 2 superstar DNs right away because C.J. Washington is a man-child. And he got Matthew General, so he's loaded at the linebacker position right now. So if he wanted to, he can move any of these guys to go down and play defensive end for him, right? So whoever's not getting the start at left outside linebacker should be playing DN. You still got Braden Smith. You got Deontay Lawson. I mean, he is loaded at the linebacker position. Very much loaded at the linebacker position. All of them good. They all been playing for him. They all been making plays all the time. And you got rid of Elijah Blades, though. You got rid of your 4th corner to have 4 good, legit corners. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't understand what the process of that was. Getting rid of Elijah Blades early before you even played a ball game, because if it was a contract thing, you had all year to figure that out. So now to me, he got a little weaker at corner. You got 2 good corners, so he should be running around the league looking for a corner right now, and he has linebackers that can get him that corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He got a bunch of linebackers that can get him to that cornerback position. So to me, it's just like when you go to his depth chart, what are you going to see? Jordan Mukes back
and he
here.
Has a couple safeties he can leverage as well that he can flip too.
I mean, you draft Todd Sessions. He's going to say he can't go deep. I mean, he can't come down in the sub package, but you got Cam Bond who can. You know what I'm saying? So you got, and the way he play, he want those safeties. So I get it. I get why he got a lot of safeties like this. But Mukes is here, and Cam Bond is here from Ohio State, and because of him being here, I don't know if I think he's superstar. I think he's a superstar. We'll find out right now.
Cam Bond.
Superstar. I think he traded for him, right? This was part of that trade.
He traded for him in the Colts trade.
All right, so that was part of the Colts drafted him and he traded for him.
Yeah.
All right. I'm confused. I think the Colts would have been whatever. All right. So now he got himself a sub linebacker. That's a little confusing right now. Kamari Ramsey had a hell of a playoff as a rookie. You got Deion Brooks here. You got Thomas Favors. You got a whole bunch of safeties here. That's just here. So this is what I would say. He got pieces that he can trade. People can use some of these players. He could trade to get him that corner because I think he has to go forward deep at corner for him to be successful. Now, I'm not going to go through his depth chart at all. Did he get better? I would have said he got a little better, but he traded some good players away and replacing them with some rookies that that's just not going to meet up to those standards. I mean, Bond, yeah, that was a good move to get Bond because now you got that sub linebacker guy with 93 speed, 93 excel, so you're good there. But I just don't see it nowhere else. So I just think he didn't kill his roster, but he got weak at wide receiver. And he got weak at corner, so he got to fix that right now. And that's going to present a problem coming down the stretch if he doesn't fix that early. You know what I'm saying? So right now they are still the guys that should win this division. And I'm saying that slightly because the Bears are still around, the Vikings are still around, and even the Packers. I watched them play a hell of a game against hitter today, and I think the Packers is here too to try to close out to get into a playoff. So I think this division is very interesting right now. I don't think the Lions pulled away from any team in this division yet, as of right now. The next team,
No.
I think it was the Vikings or the Bears that finished second in this division. Just go look and see what they did. All right, so their quarterback is still here. At the running back position, they picked up a running back in Ruben Owens. Really good running back, 94 speed, 94 excel, got high truck. I'm not mad at this. I think he's a star. I don't think he's a superstar. 20-year-old real draft running back. Yep, on star. Now, I'm not sure about this. What do you think about him getting this running back? In the second round at that, pick 17.
The Lions?
Nah, I'm on the Bears.
Or the Bears? Let's go see. I'll go with the Bears. I don't know. He could take over for Zach Evans in a backup role, but I don't think he takes over the whole thing with Will Shipley over here.
Yeah, I like Zach Evans though, and they're not that far apart.
Yeah.
And Zach Evans has better break tackles. He's more of an inside runner.
I would
a
probably,
one-cut back.
like coming from a runner, I would probably, I don't know if he might have been better going with a different direction, like a different area on his team maybe.
I don't think this is a piece that helps him at all. It gives him depth at running back, but we're not looking at a guy who runs the ball like that. He plays that West Coast offense. So having that three running backs ain't going to benefit him. And the guy that plays, more of a receiver back is Will Shipley. But I think Zach Evans was a great pickup last year to be able to have a, in between the tackle type runner. So with that being said, I'm a little confused about this. Maybe, this is what happens when you don't draft yourself, when you miss the draft really. Even if your board set or not, you're not picking the stuff you want. So they got them, at the end of the day, they got them a running back that they didn't really need, in my opinion, at all. But when we get over here, we get to the wide receiver position. Atwell still here. They did pick up Jalen Tolbert in free agency, and they picked up Jaquavion Frazier. Now, with Corey Stanley here, he was always the third receiver here. But that's what I'm going to say. I'm not mad at these pickups. Here's why. This guy throw the ball a lot. And he's not a guy that's just looking to throw to, Atwell's my best receiver, let me throw it to him all game long. He's going to throw the ball to the open man. That's their style of offense. So this is perfect to have. I like this. But I do think, maybe, one of these guys can go somewhere else, maybe. But you did put yourself in a situation though. Having Frazier's here, or even Corey Stanley, one of these guys can give you room to move Tutu and let him play some slot receiver for you as well, and do a little bit more instead of having him just out as a number one. Even though Tutu's shown that he can be a number one receiver over here. But having a Justin Ross, and I like this Jalen Tolbert kid. To me, I think they got to be your 1 and 2, and Tutu goes to the third, and it opens his offense up a lot more because he also uses the tight end very well. And he got some good ones over here already. So they didn't have to get anything there. Let's see if they attack the line. 2 off left tackles. No. Up. Matt Stover, rookie, 21 years old. Let's see if he's on.
Come on, let's go, baby.
Superstar. Bet. Got a superstar lineman. There we go. So now we know he's superstar everywhere. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 superstar linemen over here, and another rookie that's possibly a superstar. If he got, I mean, he's loaded. He got guys can come get some linemen from him if you need a lineman. Shit. Yep, superstar. So they loaded on the offensive line. He can go any direction he want with this line right now. So like it, let's go. Keep it moving. Gregory Rose, we know he's one of the best defensive ends in the league. Edward Childress, he's on trade, but I doubt he's going to be on superstar. Let's just make sure real fast. It's a good pickup. Not mad at this because he lost some good weapons in free agency too. Star, big boy though. So got 6'6", 272. Solid speed. At D tackle, here we go. Jermaine House is still here. And some solid backups. Christian Harris comes over. Kaiser, get a little better. He lost a really good linebacker, so let's see what he did to fix it. Cameron Goody. Tony Fields is still here. Don't really think he addressed that. You got Brett Atkinson, not bad. Dallas Gant. Alright, so no abilities everywhere on like the linebacker position. But Tyson Campbell, Kuda still here. Ellis. And then he picked up Ryan Turner, which I thought, well, he was the second corner in the draft. I think this was a hell of a pick here. I like this pick because he did lose Jalen Johnson, the other corner. That's what he lost. So I like this pickup right here. I think this was his first round pick, superstar. Really solid speed, Ohio State corner. So you know they kick out good corners. He already got 91 press right now, so he can lock down for sure. Line that right in your face and jam your best receivers right away. Again, he was the first round pick for him. So I love that pick right now. So Tyson Campbell, Kuda, and this kid is probably going to be the guys here. Now he lost a safety, but what we do here, replaced it with 220. Got himself a sub linebacker package there. And here we go over here. We picked up Richie Gant as well. So got good safeties. All right, so I like the Bears roster. I just don't understand with the running back, but that's just because he didn't draft. He probably had his board set or a computer draft for him, so they just drafted the best available player. What I'm not mad at. I do think this roster is good enough to fight for this division, and I do think it's going to be interesting. I do think the Bears are probably in a situation to put themselves in the driver's seat to actually win this division again. So with that being said, let's keep it sly and talk about the Vikings.
Give me that. Go, baby.
All right. Let's see what these Vikings did. All right, so I thought the Vikings needed a number 2 running back in the worst way. They did not address it. All right, they got Rashawn Grubbs, but obviously he's not even he's not my player now. He just was a regular drafted rookie that I didn't touch. So that's a loss there. I do think they need to go find a way to get another running back. They only got one. They need a running back. At the receiver position, I like it. It's still same guys over there, pretty solid. So he didn't have to change too many weapons up for him. They pick up Alex Callahan. All right, now what they did was they gave themselves a solid tight end because they lost the tight ends they had already. So again, I don't know if he wants to go look through the league and maybe make a trade, try to go get him a dog tight end. I'm not mad at this guy right here, but everything behind that is nothing he's doing. So he got a lot of 60s on a roster with a league full of 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's gonna hurt. And I think he was right there.
Starting 60s though?
No, well, yeah, you got the number 2 tight end is a fucking 60-something overall.
Okay. Well.
All right, now on the line, he did invest a lot in the line. We do got some shit over here. I'm not mad at. Pretty good so far. I'm looking at. All right, so picked up rookie Josh Landry, 98 strength, 6'6", 319. If this guy's a superstar, this is a win. Yepper. That's a good win. When you got somebody that's not cleaning their roster up, these 68s can't be on your roster. You got to start cleaning rosters up. People don't realize when you got all these extra players lingering around at 60s and stuff, it brings your team morale down, bro. Like, I don't think you realize that. When you got these dumbass players sitting around for no reason, you put yourself in a situation. Dallas Turner is up and coming. He's a dog. He picked up Ugalele. Really love that thing. Andre Anthony, he's never really panned out to be more than just a star athlete. 2099 overall, though. He's going to be a good player, but he ain't at his max, right? At D tackle, Jamarius Robinson there, LeBron Ray, Travis Shaw like this. So in these situations, you load it, but they, they're just, there's too many people at this position that's not going to see the field. Love Jaden Osbury. I think he's a really good linebacker. I know for a fact he's a superstar. Don't let me eat my words right now. Yes, sir. He was number 2 linebacker in at that situation, right? So now you got a superstar here with 90 speed, solid. Blackshire from last draft, solid. Emmanuel. See, look, these guys are just crushing your roster right now. Like these type of guys are just crushing your roster right now. Patty Fisher Hill here. Torrey Compton. Like this pick because he needed help at the linebacker level for sure. They got Blackshire last year, and now they got some guys to help out here. Superstar, two superstar linebackers. That's great. Very, very good. Clean up the roster, and we looking good. Sanders is here. Clark is here. Marcus Washington, the rookie, is here. He about to unlock too. I don't think he's a superstar though. He's one of the top 7 rookie corners that came out. I think he's just a star though. Wow, I forgot this. This pussy got the X Factor. Oh my God, there was 3 X Factor corners in this draft. He got one of them. Very great pick. Up, that just turned my morale up for this team. Good shit. You got guys reaching and grabbing all these corners, and he gets the X Factor. Good shit. Was this? What pick was this? Good shit. 2 superstar middle linebackers. I mean, 2 superstar linebackers, and a superstar X Factor at corner, bro. Okay, now we're talking right now. Let's see where he picked him at. This must have been a first round pick. Yep, first round pick, pick 12. Good shit. Now you loaded that corner. Did we get any better at safety?
Yeah, bitch. Stop juking with your fucking.
All right,
I'm gonna break his neck.
If I look at this corner over here, anybody that can fit that safety bill. No. So you know how to clean this roster up, please do. Get rid of this roster. You should only have 1, 2, 3, 4 on your team right now. These 2 need to go. Alright, so he did have a pretty solid draft, but again, he got to clean his roster up. I do think he did good in the draft. He did really good in the draft, actually. Now it's all about how can you coach yourself into winning this division. Simple as that. I think that's a hard task. I'm not going to say he can't do it because the last 2 seasons he's been fighting for that division. So he got better as a player, as a coach as well. And he's putting some pieces over there now, man. So it's just all about what he do with that roster, and they can fight for that division as well. So I do like the Lions, I like the Vikings, and I like the Bears. I am more high on the Bears than the Lions just because of their history of doing it already as far as winning the division. But I think it's definitely at this point right now a 3-man race. And if the Packers can enter that zone, then we're looking at a 4-team strength of a division where you got four good guys, and amongst themselves they all compete, right? You brought Arch Manning in last year, so you got to surround him with weapons. CJ Marble there. They pick up a rookie running back, Steven Jordan, normal, 21 years old. AJ Dillon still at fullback. Humphreys, they go bring in Brendan Rice from the Cowboys. Devontae Lee still here. Tony Grimes, CJ. They got a whole bunch of receivers, bro. Whole bunch of them. So they're not hurting at the weapon department. Good, 2 good, solid tight ends. Look at the line, we solid there. They picked up Kyle Balk. Let's see if he is a superstar. Yep. Got them another superstar lineman to help out with this line. I like it. I like what I'm seeing right now. Superstar, he's there. Wrong. Yes, sir. Packers got them superstars everywhere on the line. Let's look at over here. Now, Emmanuel Cruz was a linebacker. He turned him to DN. We talked about this. I don't like the fact that he turned him to DN. I think he wasted his talent. But this was a hell of a pick for him. Emmanuel Cruz. Let's see where he picked. Did he pick him with the? Because he was picked like 6 this draft. Let's see where he got him. Yep, first round pick 6. But he moved him to DN, bro. I just don't understand that. This is one of the better linebackers in the draft. Did he come out on? No, he's superstar. Let's just see if he X Factor or not. Yeah, and he moved him to DN. I gotta get in to talk to this coach and find out like why he thought that was important with Rashad Gary still there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm a little lost there. On what he was doing when it comes down to that. Now his first pick was the X Factor. I haven't found the second pick yet. Jaleel Hurley. Let's see what round he got him in first. This might have been second round pick. Yep, second round pick 6. And he got one of the 20-year-old corners. One more time. Let's see if he's a superstar or a star. Star. But solid player. 94 speed, 94 excel, 82 press right now, 82 man, 80 zone. So he can be worked with 6'2", 180. That's good size from Florida. That gives him 1, 2, 3, 4 good corners. At safety, could have got a little better there. Other than that, now he got a dog that was a linebacker, but he got him playing DN. And until I could figure out why that's the move for him, I'm not sure. And let's just see what his production's been in the first 3 games at pitting a guy that got that type of coverage, X Factor already on him. I mean, he can play the DN. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he can't. I just don't think you should have him playing there. So let's just see what his production has been. In 2 games, 3 tackles, 2 solos, 1 assist, 3 tackles. I don't know. We gotta figure that out, man. Tell me if anybody else think this was the move to do. Please comment. I'm not sure. I don't think it was. I just think it was you wasting him now. He could be playing linebacker. You can move one of them other linebackers to DN to help you out there, and you got a superstar sitting right here that can play it with 93 power, hit power, 87 block shed. So he can play that with no problem. So I'm confused a little bit. So they got a corner and a linebacker, and I didn't see any linemen, and they got 2 linemen, right? So they one on the line. They got the weapons and the protection for Arch Manning, right? Can they take that next step? I think this is a proof season for the Packers. So far they've been playing close games. I don't know what their record is, nor do I care because it's so early. It's only been 2 games. I think this is a 4-man race over here. And I do think it's going to be a lot more interesting than that 4-man race this year with these 4 teams over here. I do think so. I'm not sure who I got winning this division. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, off the top of my head, I'm gonna say the Bears or the Lions. But I think we're about to see something between these Packers and these Vikings to push that division even more. That's my opinion.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know, man. I think this is an
in my
interesting
opinion,
division,
I
man.
think it is an interesting division. I think there is 3 teams that can do it. I like to be honest with you, I don't really believe in Coach. He hasn't really given me a lot this disc, so I can't really say what if he's gonna be competing for that division or not, because he usually taps out after 7 losses or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I never count him out because I think when I watch him play, I see what he's doing. It's just that this game a little different, man. It's more about not about knowing shit. It's about who animates first at the end of the day. So I think that's his problem. Because I seen him make a throw today against Hitter. It was 5 yards, but it was 90% of the league wouldn't have threw that ball. And when I saw him throw it, I saw that was the right read to make. Like, that was a great read to make. It's just that if a guy animate or hold triangle faster than you, then that play don't get made. But he made it, and that's the I think that's his downfall, as well as a good trait of him, because he sees the game on some on reading the field on some football shit, and it defines the logic of football with abilities, because I got to just animate first and it changes everything. Simple as that. So I think until you get over that hump, yeah, you're right. But I just never go away from them, because I do think this division is close enough amongst each other that anybody can win it any season. Whoever locks in and grinding hardest is going to win it. Simple as that. And that's what you ask for out of your division. When you get four-man race like that, you want that. That makes that division a good division amongst themselves.
Give me
now,
that.
Is it the best division in our
Dumbass.
league? I'm not
Stay in
saying
the
that at all.
fucking
But I am
zone.
saying it's the best division that they're in together. For them to all play and fight against each other, that's a great division to have. When I come back,
Yeah.
we're doing the AFC South, and we're going to do the NFC South on the next Real Talk. And hits the franchise guru. We out here.